Hey guys, Greg Makos here with Trident Home Loans. Happy Wednesday to you. I wanted to use this version of the Makos Mortgage Minutes to discuss closing costs for our potential clients and bring them up to speed on what they can expect when preparing to close a loan. So for some perspective, closing costs typically range from 2 to 6% of the loan amount. Closing fees can certainly vary depending on your state, your loan type, and your mortgage lender. So please make sure you're shopping around to make sure you get the best deal and the best rate that applies for your scenario. According to Bankrate, the purchase of a single family home in the United States in 2021 resulted in an average of just below $7,000 in closing costs. For some more perspective on that range, the most expensive region in regards to closing costs was Washington, D.C., where the average closing cost for a home was just under $30,000. Alternatively, Missouri's average last year was the nation's lowest at just over $2,000 per home sold. So what are some key takeaways when talking about closing costs? So A, closing costs are the fees and charges in excess of the purchase price of the property due at the closing of a real estate transaction. B, both buyers and sellers may be subject to various closing costs, and this is definitely something that you need to work with your real estate agents on during the contract process, because these fees need to be settled upon prior to closing on who is responsible for what. And C, closing costs are often assessed on the value of the loan, not on the value of the home being purchased. So as we dive in a little bit as to what the closing disclosure is going to look like, some of these fees include your origination or underwriting fee. How much is it costing your lender to do this loan for you? Discount points. Are you paying any points for a lower rate? This is certainly something that right now may be coming into play a bit more with the Federal Reserve raising the interest rates throughout the course of the year. Credit report fee, appraisal fee, and then you see some title fees as well. Title insurance, closing escrow fee. Some states require attorney fees. Also, your homeowner's insurance. So typically, you're going to pay the full year of your homeowner's insurance at closing, along with property taxes. So certainly, depending on when your taxes are due throughout the course of the year, will certainly make a difference on your closing disclosure as far as your amount of the taxes are concerned. And prepaid interest charges. So, for example, if you're closing early in the month, you're going to have more days present on your closing disclosure. If you're closing later in the month, you're going to have fewer days, and that prepaid interest charge will be lessened. So, those are typically the closing costs that you're going to see on the closing disclosure. And as a lender, we're required to provide a loan estimate within 3 days of the full application submission. So that loan estimate is going to show you an estimate of what your closing costs are. So please make sure that you are reviewing that prior to signing it. If there's any questions at all, if something doesn't look right, whatever the case is, please ask questions, because we certainly don't want any surprises as we get to the closing table. We don't want to leave a bad taste in your mouth. We don't want there to be any shock value. So please make sure that you're asking the right questions. And again, right now, certainly don't be afraid to negotiate when you're setting your contract in. Negotiate the who's going to be paying for the closing costs. You know, a lot of times the sellers will be willing to pay a certain amount of concessions toward the closing costs. So something to make sure that you're talking with your agents about. Something to leave you with: we are having a trunk or treat here at 6723 Plantation Road at Trident Home Loans. That is October 22nd from 5 to 8, so we would certainly love to see you. Also, we have a title appreciation event that we're putting on next week for the local title companies in the area. Can't wait to do that. I'll be present at that. So anyway, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'm here to help at Makos Mortgage Minutes on Facebook and Instagram. Please follow me and please share my content. I greatly appreciate it. Here to help you guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. Thanks again.